clip, I guess, why wouldn't you? The Breakers are starting with Big Alex Pledger, Mika Vacona, Cedric Jackson, Tom Abercrombie and Daryl Coletto.
And we're ready for the tip-off here at Cairns Convention Centre, and the Breakers get the first touch. Import on import to start the game. Mika Vacona finds a lot of space and the running hook.
The Taipans have obviously decided to let Mika have that 15, 16-foot shot there. If he ever starts making that consistently, he's going to be a real handful there to guard. I mean, but then he didn't even really look at it. And Alex Loughton was sitting back almost in the charge circle.
Well, it looked like Brad Hill had drawn the two shots there, but he's been called with the offensive foul. Probably a tough call, you think?
Look, I try not to comment too much on referees because, quite frankly, I think it's a really hard job.
And it probably didn't work out too well for you when you were playing either, did it, Matt?
They were always right.
Looks like they're going man-to-man here, Cairns. Cedric Jackson, oh, Pledger, the big man. Got the open look. And Abercrombie forces the ball. Looked like it came off him, but the refs have gone off Loughton there, and New Zealand retained the ball.
Alex Loughton didn't look particularly happy with that call, but he really should have done a better job of keeping Abercrombie away from the glass. So the Breakers get another look at it.
There's an open look. Takes it this time and makes the money. Well, if he can step up, as you mentioned, he's going to be a dangerous shooter there from the elbow.
And he does everything else so well. The hustle plays around the ring. You know, he's almost impossible to box out, as I mentioned earlier. So, look, if he does add that consistently to his game, he is going to prove a much larger handful than he already is.
He's got some fantastic rebounding stats, as you mentioned. Tough shot. Wow. Draws the foul, though, Tragar. Probably a low percentage shot, but if you can get to the foul line, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, he does a really good job of, once you're facing up, of reading your body, bringing you one way and then able to get you back the other. Once he had Pledger trying to move side to side with him, he knew he had an advantage, got inside for the body, now he's shooting too.
Do you think that's something that they'll look to do, Cairns, is try and put some foul trouble on the big man?
Look, I think you have to, given that they've got such a differentiation in height. The Cairns guys are going to use their quickness a little bit more, try to get him moving laterally. That probably won't be his strength. You're not going to be able to back him down. I mean, he's got 3 or 4 inches and probably 20 kilos on Cameron Tragar, so that's not a battle Cameron's going to win, trying to go body on body.
Tragar, perfect from the line to start off with, and levels up the score. He's been a 75% free throw shooter this year and is averaging 16.8 points per game.
And that's 2 on Pledger, as Trigger sort of gets under his skin a little bit there, and Will Hudson's going to come in for the big man.
Well, that's a huge win for the Cairns Taipans. A minute and a half into the game, and Pledger has 2 fouls and already off the floor.
I think that's frustration. You know, I mean, Cameron Tragar was getting up underneath him there. To say that Alex Pledger initiated the foul would be, you know, disingenuous to say the least. And Cameron Tragar just sort of sucked him in a little bit there.
Bit of full court defense here from the Breakers, but they latch off a bit there, letting them bring down the ball. Jamar Wilson's had an excellent start to the season again, really running the engine room for the Cairns Taipans. Running the shot clock down, Brad Hill, nice move.
Good screen from Cameron Tragar to really open up the lane for Brad Hill there. Once he's got his shoulders set and he can turn that corner, he's a very explosive athlete.
Lovely look inside to Will Hudson, and a quick return there to square things up at 4 points apiece.
And that's been the issue for the Taipans all year, has been the defensive transition, particularly after a score, as we saw Cedric Jackson able to dribble right to the heart of the defense, hit Will Hudson for the easy 2.
Yeah, it would have been very frustrating there for Aaron Fern after working a nice basket for Brad Hill at the offensive end to give it away so easily. Loughton works it inside, tough shot, fade away. Jamar Wilson with the offensive rebound. We don't see that too often, and he's drawn the foul.
In amongst the Giants, you almost couldn't see him for white jerseys. He somehow come up with the ball and drew the foul.
Andre Lamanis couldn't be too happy with the starting point guard, the star point guard, gaining an offensive board and getting to the line.
I think he's debating the merits of the foul call as well, as Jamar takes his first and knocks it down.
Well, they haven't had a good run He probably believes, Andre, that they've already 3 fouls down. We're only 2.5 minutes in.
Jamar makes his second. A little bit of token up the court pressure there just to slow things down.
A lot of space here again with a runner. Oh, off the glass. Don't know if he called it, but they'll certainly take it.
That's a great heads-up play there from Cedric Jackson. As on the screen, Will Hudson took Cameron Tregar and Jamar Wilson with him. As we see Tregar with a little pull-up jumper, Cedric able to go straight to the rim.
Cedric had so much space. He's got a lot of space again. He's running the ball beautifully down the floor.
Wow.
And he will make
tonight,
you pay every single time. Aaron Fern must be livid. 3 open looks for Cedric Jackson. 1 he got the dish away, and the other 2 he's made them pay.
He looks very controlled. Everything, he's got a lot of time, a lot of space with the way he handles the ball.
They've skipped out to a 3-point lead here, the New Zealand Breakers. Glidden, nice move, and another foul.
And that's the second time on a very similar play too that the Taipans have been able to get to the hoop through a high on-ball driving into the middle. I wonder if there'll be an adjustment made there on how they're going to guard that screen, because if you've got guards getting that deep, it's going to be a problem.
It's almost the parting of the Red Sea there.
It was. And that's that's unusual for a team that's, you know, fairly solid defensively. Possibly they're missing Pledge's defensive presence in there, whereas guards are less likely to try to turn the corner on a 7-foot monster.
It's amazing how that one thing, taking one player out of the game, already changed the dynamics so much.
Glidden with his seconds. Cam Tregar with the offensive rebound. And that coaches hate that. They despise that more than anything else in the world.
There couldn't be anything worse, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, we're 9 apiece here at the Cairns Convention Centre. Cedric Jackson with the ball. Looks inside to Tom Abercrombie. And over the back foul.
Will Hudson.
Big fellas are in foul trouble here, and New Zealand Breakers are already in foul trouble. We're 3.5 minutes into the match. We're already in the bonus.
And yeah, as the Taipans now walk to the other end to take their shots, I'm wondering if the game's being called a little bit tighter tonight. I mean, I didn't think there was a lot in that, a bit of body contact. Obviously, these things happen. But yeah, look, the Breakers' frustration will obviously build from this now. And I mean, at 6.5 minutes in, every foul's going to be 2 shots. That's a long first quarter.
What do they need to do? They need to maybe go to a zone defense and peel off a little bit, or do they have to play the same game, seeing that it's only the first quarter?
I think you just play your same game, you know, and just trust that the luck will fall the other way eventually. You know, they're 50-50 calls maybe, and they've just gone against them is all.
Cam Tregar couldn't make them pay at the other end. Seemed like another soft one there, Matty.
It did, but that's Daryl Coletto's game right there, the little running floater. And he's got that range to about 15, 16 feet on the floater. It's a very hard thing to stop because he can do it off either foot as well. So you can't check his footwork to try to get into position. He just launches them.
Daryl Coletto at the line, and Mike Kokona's gone off the floor for your man, Dylan Boucher.
Dylan Boucher. I love Dylan, the way Dylan plays. You know, he's just all hustle all the time. And you watch him sneak around on the offensive glass. You know, as soon as the big man drops it, he's there. He's always making cuts. He's always setting hard screens. And he's made a career out of doing all those hard things no one else really wants to do.
Invaluable members of the team, and Daryl Coletto perfect from the line. Gets that lead back out to 2 points. He's been subbed in, or subbed out for the wily vet and CJ Bruton. Bit of full court pressure there.
Breakers extending it up a little bit and falling back into the man. CJ Bruton is also on the court now for his first minutes tonight.
Oh, tough shot, long range, just in time for the shot clock, and they've earned the offensive rebound. And another one.
They're fighting for it.
Absolutely, that's 2 offensive gets there for the Cairns Taipans, and Cedric Jackson with another open shot.
That one's on Alex Loughton, hooking up underneath there with Will Hudson. If you just think back down the other end there with Dylan Boucher guarding Cameron Tregar, I think that's a much better matchup for the Breakers than putting a true big on Trigger. because he's so quick and he's got all those cute little spins and stuff, Dylan Boucher's strong enough and low enough, fast enough to stay in front of that. Cedric Jackson turns down the shot.
Always looking to do something, kicks it inside. Lovely dish, draws the foul. Couldn't get it to go.
It's good heads-up play there by Boucher. A great cut from Abercrombie. Had the presence of mind to get the up fake. Got Cam Glidden to bite. 2 shots for his troubles. Cameron Glidden takes a rest. Kerry Williams comes in as a second ball handler. Jamal Wilson will probably head over to the 2.
Tommy Abercrombie from the line. Shot at 83% this year from the free throw line, but held up a massive brick there.
That one very, very short.
Makes good for the second one, and New Zealand are out to a 3-point lead with a bit over 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Shane Edwards.
That's a backcourt violation. You know, you can't really make those unforced turnovers against the defending champions because they're really going to make you pay for it. That's just a little bit of a mental lapse there, and that's the sort of thing that, you know, you really should try hard to eliminate.
Brad Hill wasn't too happy about that one. I think he was venting some frustration on the ref, but I think he only had himself to blame, as Will Hudson makes a nice basket with a cute little dish inside. Shane Edwards onto the floor, Kansas' other import. Working hard off the ball here was Jamal Wilson. Dishes it wide to Kerry in the corner. Open look. Oh, nothing but air, and on the transition fast break, Cedric takes it to the line. Fantastic stuff.
And that's the defensive transition again. The Breakers able to get out and run. Cedric Jackson getting right the way to the hoop for the easy 2. Will Hudson gambling.
Jamal Wilson let have that shot. Look at this transition. They're really pushing the ball here, New Zealand. Trying to capitalise. They've got out to a 7-point lead, and they're certainly not taking the foot off the pedal.
Jamal Wilson gets tangled up there with Will Hudson. The Taipans are switching that screen. And the Breakers are doing a really good job of then exploiting it. So Will Hudson, as soon as he gets Jamal Wilson, is heading straight to the paint. That leaves Cameron Trigar out on Cedric Jackson. Neither of these two guys are going to be able to defend those dudes in their particular spaces. So that's the second time we've seen Hudson being able to get that deep to bury somebody, and he'll shoot 2 now after this timeout.
Well, a much-needed timeout there for the Cairns Taipans. What do you think Aaron Fern will mention to the guys?
I think that what they need to do is probably try to hold up that defensive transition again. The Breakers are getting too much too easy, and I think they're definitely going to have to start looking at that screen and roll. If they're going to continue to switch it like that, they're going to have to send the help a lot earlier. We're listening to Andre Lamanis.
Quicks and sometimes just some double drags here with this guy low, and we can turn the corner on that as well, right? So maybe good job keeping aggressive.
I'm cool when I'm going to do double drags, so you know to keep coming. Watch your close roll, because they're going to try to flop. So
yeah, exactly. Keep your hand and be smart with it. It's really good. Defensively, understand the difference when the 2-man's bring it up with the nail. Now there's a pick and roll, there's nail. We haven't had nails yet.
Hey, guys. All right, guys here on the next one. Stay in the flow. When you go guys to flow, man or zone. All right?
Andre's there looking to address that middle penetration that we spoke about earlier by getting that guy to help in that little bit more to try to stop the guards turning the corner.
Yeah, well spotted there, Matty. Certainly something that if they can stop that, they'll certainly kick away with a big, strong lead here in the first quarter. Will Hudson at the line to shoot 2. Both teams are now in foul trouble.
Knocks down the first. Will Hudson, former Gold Coast Blaze import, now found a home at the Breakers.
How have you seen his season so far, Matt?
Look, he's been solid. He's doing exactly what they asked him to do. Obviously, they haven't brought him in to be the world-beating import, but he plays a role. He's relentless on the boards, so I think that's what they were looking for.
Jamal Wilson takes the ball at the top. Gets the kick around to Kerry Williams. Looking to play some high offense there for Clint Steindl.
It's a confident shot to come straight in and let that go. Off the dribble handoff.
We talked about it in the pre-game. He is one confident fella, and he'll never be afraid to take that shot again and again.
Just jealous I was never able to shoot it from that far away. CJ helping in. Cam Tregar had Tom Abercrombie on his back and was pleading for the mismatch that got broken up by CJ.
Oh, nice pump fake. Wide open look. Good strong rebound there from Shane Edwards. They've got to look to push here, I think, Cairns. They've certainly got to stop the bloodletting out there, get some baskets. It's been a strong run here from the New Zealand Breakers.
Isolation play for Cameron Tregar. He got the ball and everyone else just got out of his way and waited.
When you're averaging 16.8 points per game, there's no reason not to run a play like that. Some good movement here from New Zealand. Kicks it inside to Hudson. Working hard on Tregar. Knocks it out, but they retain the ball.
Gave up a lot of ground there, Tregar, once Hudson started backing him in. You really can't let the bigs get both feet in the paint like that. If you look at down at the keyway, if they get both feet inside that Skytrans sign, then you're in real trouble, because from there it's a point-blank shot.
Looks like they're trying to isolate that position as well.
Well, look, over the years, Cameron Tregar has been an exceptional offensive player, but a lot of people don't really rate his defensive prowess, and so, yeah, they'd be looking to isolate him. Great finish from Jamal Wilson. Just waited out Darryl Corletto for the easy two.
Yeah, great transition basket off the steal. On a small run here, the Cairns Taipans, a 4-0 run, as the ball gets kicked out to the wily veteran CJ Bruton. I didn't mind the pressure there from Kerry Williams, but it's a pretty bad foul considering they're in foul trouble.
Yeah, look, he was frustrated by it, but look, he's trying to make an impact and push CJ away from the screen and out of his comfort zone. The Breakers do something very interesting in the transition heading back towards their goal. They set an on-ball screen that actually heads the dribble towards the baseline, and it's kind of a reverse to the way a screen is usually set. A lot of teams have trouble with that because they're not mentally set up for that kind of screen, I guess, and that's how they get a lot of their easy transition points. It used to be a real problem when they had Tony Ronaldson setting it for CJ.
1 from 2 from the line there for CJ Bruton. Oh, he got 2, sorry, correct myself. Broke the mini run there, the New Zealand Breakers that the Cairns Taipans had going. They do look a lot better coming out of that timeout. Strong move and the follow, but a great block there from your man Boucher.
Will Hudson was naked underneath. There's CJ, and he loves it.
He's got the new look, got rid of those dreadlocks, but he's still got those skills.
And that's CJ will be able to do that until he's 50. He's always, once his feet are set, he's always going to be a dangerous shooter.
I'm sure he'd love to play till he's 50 as well there, Matty.
Oh, I've got no doubt he'll try.
It says a lot about experience. Looking to get inside. They've got the mismatch there on Steindl with Hudson.
Cameron Tregar with a big defensive rebound. The Taipans are out.
Another loose ball foul called, that time on Shane Edwards.
That's a good box out there from CJ. Shane Edwards has just sort of hooked him a little bit. And CJ understands the game well enough that if he feels that contact in a way that you shouldn't be contacting him, he will go down. And now he's going to shoot 2.
Very diplomatic there, Matty.
Oh, he's great at it. Coming off the on-ball screen, if he feels the big, is shadowing him too much, the arms throw out, the head throws back.
Some ironic jeers from the fans as couldn't get that first one to go. number 2, and they're out to 11-point lead, a double-figure lead. And Aaron Fern must be getting slightly concerned. They wouldn't want the blood to keep coming out like this heading into the first quarter break.
No, and to only put up 13 points would definitely be a concern from the offensive end. And then at the same equation, giving up 24.
Great hands from Kerry Williams. Forces the turnover. Dylan Boucher just across the hands of Jamar Wilson, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Known in the business as a professional foul. Jamar had a full head of steam there and was probably going to make that layup. And yeah, Dylan slowed him down, and he'll be taking 2 from the foul line.
Painful misses, especially when you're down by 11 points in the first quarter.
Aaron Grabo prepares to check in for Clint Steindl for his first minute since the knee clash last time you were up here. Ended up straining his MCL.
Yeah, well, at first I thought it was the dreaded ACL, so that's fantastic news for the veteran in Aaron Grabo. Strong move, great dish inside. Wow. Brilliant stuff there from Boucher inside to Henry, and he makes no mistake.
They really do a good job of looking out for each other, the New Zealand Breakers. They've obviously been together for a very long time, or at least their core has, and you can tell in the experience and heads-up plays like that.
Just 7 seconds to go. They'll be looking for a decent shot. Shane Edwards gets an open look, pulled the trigger, couldn't get it to go, and that's the end of the first quarter here at the Cairns Convention Centre. A great start by the New Zealand Breakers. They're out to a 12-point lead, 26-14, and the Cairns Taipans have got a lot of work to do to start bridging that gap. As I mentioned, 12-point lead to the New Zealand Breakers.
It's an interesting position that the Taipans find themselves in. Back in the 12-minute half, 12-minute quarter days, coaches used to say you try to average around 23, 22 points a quarter for your opposition. You know, I like taking my kids out to the rainforest and the creeks and that sort of stuff, but they just love it.
Now, some beautiful sights to see up here, and some beautiful sights to see at the Cairns Convention Centre. We've got a 12-point deficit to the home side, and the Cairns Taipans, they're trailing 26-14, and they have the ball, and they're going to want to spark early in this second quarter, Matt.
Look, they are indeed, and if you let the Breakers get too far ahead, you could be in real trouble because they're not going to give leads away, as there's an early turnover there, which isn't what the start that Aaron Fern would be looking for. But if you let the Breakers get on top of you, there's a good chance they're going to try to really grind you down.
Yeah, certainly not the start. Had a quick look at Aaron Fern, and he's already shaking his head just 10 seconds into this second quarter. CJ, what do I like to call the airball switch? I used to shoot a lot of those when I played. I'm sure you did too. Maybe not.
Told you earlier, I didn't shoot that far out.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to airball a dunk when you're 7 foot tall.
Yeah, let's keep talking about dunks.
Another off-the-ball foul, this time on Cedric Jackson.
Cedric Jackson posted up Kerry Williams on that last position down the play. He's kicked it out to CJ. But that looks to be an advantage that the Breakers seem to think they can take.
Kerry Williams in control of the ball at the top of the key. Brings out Alex Loughton. Makes a nice move, creates some space. There's another 2 points. Kicks off the second quarter for the Cairns Taipans.
High-arching shot over the giant Pledger there. It was a tough move, actually. It's a really tough move. We see it there on replay. Fading away after coming to his right.
Pledger back out in the four and makes an immediate impact.
Big.
Oh, beautiful dish inside. Draws a foul. Can he get it to go? He does. Now we've got some crowd involvement in the game, Matt.
Breakers just a little bit slow getting back there on defense. And yeah, Jamar Wilson able to get down first. Held onto it, high off the glass. Gets to the bonus.
Fantastic touch there, and they'll be looking to hurt New Zealand on transition just like they've been hurt in the first quarter.
Well, particularly now, with Pledger in, the lineup slows down a little bit, so there is going to be that opportunity to run.
Gets the lead back to 9 points for the New Zealand Breakers, just a minute into the second quarter. Lots of space for Cedric.
What a fantastic spin move that was. He just noodled it.
As I mentioned before, it was like the Red Sea parted for him in that little spin, kisses it off the glass, and he'll make that every time.
To spin at that kind of pace and then have the presence of mind to be able to finish that shot is actually really tough to do. As Mika Vukona forces Shane Edwards, runs out of room a bit there and has to force it up. CJ Bruton takes the rests. Darryl Corletto comes in.
Cedric Jackson already has 9 points in this game and is certainly controlling the ball and the scoreboard very well.
He's also got 3 assists for the first quarter, so look, he's got the potential to put up some very serious numbers here tonight.
Loves packing that stat sheet, doesn't he? And a travel call on the big man, Alex Pledger.
The thing with Pledger is that he's going to be a work in progress. Big men don't really hit their strides till they're 26, 27. He's still a bit young, and he could really got a massive upsize to go with his shoulders.
He's matching up on Alex Loughton. Bit of an Alex off there, kicks inside. Great look. Fantastic bounce pass there by Alex Loughton. Jamar Wilson coming really well off the screens, is moving quickly inside the key. Vukona forcing his way in there. Draws the foul. Is it going to be?
Is it a continuation? No, it's on the floor.
Some good defense there from the Taipans. They're really able to isolate it in the corner over there, but they managed to kick it out to the man Cedric Jackson and drew the foul.
Yeah, Mika Vukona did look like he'd sort of run out of ideas there. But look at the way Cedric Jackson moves with the ball. He's got that kind of smooth but slightly jerky handle. Throws you off a bit. And it looks like he's able to do whatever he likes out there at the moment.
Looks a bit like your interpretive dance.
Except far more graceful.
Really looking inside for that extra past the Breakers. Long range shot from Corletto.
The Breakers get another look at it through Mika Vukona.
He is a rebounding machine.
He's gone again.
He's gone again. Oh, throwing up Hail Marys.
And something's just gone wrong here. Someone's been teed up.
Can't quite work out who that was.
Vickers obviously was a bit frustrated, probably thought he'd been whacked a few times in there as he goes over to debate the merits of it. And Grabo will take both shots.
He looked like he pulled down 3 rebounds and chucked a couple of Hail Marys and ends up with a tech foul.
It was an incredible amount of hustle play from Mika, and look, obviously he was a bit frustrated as he takes a seat. And Dylan Boucher returns in, and you'd be happy with the hustle, possibly not happy with the discipline at the end of it.
7 minutes to go in this second quarter. Cairns have worked it back to a 9-point lead after a 12-point deficit at the end of the first quarter. New Zealand are doing really well here to push Cairns outside. Nothing close inside to get a good look.
Wow. Oh, that was amazing. That was awesome.
You wouldn't even call that a good look, I don't reckon. He still made it play.
He's pivoted the other way and then somehow shot it up. And that's... David Stiff used to do a lot of those weird sort of reverse backward pivots there. But he didn't have his shoulders squared or anything. He's just got that nose for the basket that he managed to get it to drop.
Yeah, fantastic work off the glass from Cam Tregar. And the Cairns Taipans within 6 points. Let's hear what Aaron Fern has to say.
That's not a sparring thing. Your ball movement is much better down here, right? Right? You're moving people around and then they break down and get easy rush. Get blocks down there, clean rebounds, and you push that fucking thing. Right? It's not there, then you pull it out.
It's either a quick look or it's getting that thing off. We're just doing a little disruption now, all right? So trans on the fly offensively, otherwise you got some shakes and you got some secondary. This one here. Secondary. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go, boys. Hey, keep fighting.
Fern seems to have picked up his mood a little bit there, having the boys share the ball a little bit more. And look, he's really trying to harp on the possession and the quickness now. They want to expose Alex Pledger on that rebounding thing and then just fly up there as quickly as possible.
They'd be wanting getting in quick inside as well, because if they can get him onto 3 fouls, it really limits his impact on the game. Just under 7 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Taipans have fallen back into his zone here.
Dylan Boucher with the ball. Quick kick across. Cedric Jackson. Strong rebound.
Oh.
Looked a tough call on Jamar Wilson there. It looked like to me that Tommy Abercrombie had his hands in his back and just settled him under the ball. But it goes against Jamar.
Yeah, the crowd provided constructive criticism then to the referees as a response to that call there. Look, I didn't think there was a great deal in it, but we're a bit further away.
But it looks as though they're trying to scrap out anything off the ball in this game so far.
I did like the look of the zone though for the Taipans. They have been hurt inside, so packing it in might not be such a bad ploy. They stay in the zone there.
Another off the ball call, this time against Cameron Tragar on that kick inside to Alex Pledger.
He's making his defensive move there a bit too late. Once the ball's on its way, with a guy the size of Pledger, and if you're giving out that sort of height, you really have to do the work early, try to get in front of him. As Grabo just steps in front of the freight train, and that's 3 on Pledger.
We talked about it before, very important play to get Alex Pledger out of the game, and that was the third straight off-the-ball foul call in a row. So it's certainly been the theme of the night so far, and the Breakers are in foul trouble again.
Look, and that's frustrating. It's hard to play with fouls, or when you feel like they're going to start getting called against you. It really plays on your mind a little bit.
Especially when you're such a strong shot blocker like Pledger is. Strong defense here from the New Zealand Breakers. They're going to Cam Tragar again, off the side of the backboard. And Cedric Jackson brings down the ball. Looking to push hard to the basket. Almost the steal there from Cam Glidden. It's going around a bit like a ping pong ball inside the key at the New Zealand end at the moment.
And once Dylan Boucher gets the ball, he's never looking to shoot it. He's like the anti-Cam Tragar.
I like it. Kerry Williams drives hard to the key.
Turns the corner. Bit hard, and the Breakers are off.
Abercrombie surely looks to the basket.
Oh, Williams, good hustle.
Yeah, probably a low percentage shot, and certainly made up by forcing the ball out of bounds.
Gave his boys a bit of time to get back there. Taipans stay in the 2-3.
Yeah, it certainly slowed the New Zealand Breakers down with this zone, and a few quick hands getting in there, stopping those inside passes.
Except it's not a zone anymore, so I called that one incorrectly. And that's why I'm an expert.
You don't need to admit those things sometimes, Matty. Just a word of advice from an expert.
Ah, thank you. CJ Bruton checks in for Cedric Jackson.
Yeah, solid start from Jackson with 9 points and a few assists.
Every time he gets into the keyway, he looks dangerous.
Absolutely, but credit to the Cairns Taipans. They've certainly slowed New Zealand's scoring down in this second quarter. Got to take that every time. He was looking good before the game, and after a couple of wayward shots early, that was nothing but net there from Kerry Williams.
He's worked so hard on that too. The word on him when he first came in, quick, can't shoot. But, you know, Aaron Fern and Mick Downer spent a lot of time with him getting his technique down so that he can add that to his weapon.
Very big weapon when you can pull the trigger like that. Now within 3 points, the Cairns Taipans. Got a little roll on here. If they can get another defensive stop and a score, it's game will certainly start getting interesting. And another stop and another steal.
Good heads-up play there from Will Hudson. I think he surprised CJ Bruton a little bit there, but it was a great pass.
Cam Glidden with the open three. The great hustle play from Aaron Grabeau. Alex Loughton pushes hard, draws the block against Tommy Abercrombie.
3-point game. Alex Loughton will shoot 2 here.
There's that foul trouble, and after scoring 26 points in 10 minutes of the first quarter, New Zealand Breakers have scored just 4 and 6 of this second quarter.
It must be good to be Andre Lamanis. You've got Cedric Jackson out there doing whatever you want, and then as his replacement, you send in CJ Bruton, who just happens to be one of the better players of all time from the NBL.
Future Hall of Famer for sure. Here's Andre Lamanis. He's trying to get the message to the boys.
On the rim. We can't just let them push us out of our stuff. So trans on the fly, look to get in the lanes, get something happening. If we don't have it, hit it on, we get some good cuts, we get to the inside, turn the corner, keep hit on the basketball rim. Defensive ball to scramble, they're coming up with everything. Box out, go get it. That short one, you've got to come up with it there.
Stay your man to man. We're going to 41. Take the second one, we're at 41. All right, 4-1. Got a rebound. Lock out. All right, good, solid, aggressive, fluidity. All right, he's sharp, he's smart. Push it in transition. Let's go, boys. Time 3 possessions there that just got really scattery. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Interesting that both clubs are looking to do the same thing, and that's push it really hard and explore the transition options. Taipans here after the make. 41 will be their full court press back into a man.
Yeah, both teams have looked great. You know, in the first quarter, New Zealand Breakers, they had the transition going, got out to a 12-point lead, and Cairns have got it back to that 3-point deficit with their transition game.
Yeah, it appears to be something I guess both teams are going to have to work on is their defensive transition towards the rest of the season, particularly now with the Tigers looming with Johnny Flynn obviously able to push it as well. So if this is going to be an Achilles heel, it could really hurt them down the stretch.
Alex Loughton,
perfect
from the line, and we're into a 1-point game. It's certainly game on here at the Cairns Convention Centre. And a substitution. Cam Tragar comes out of the game for Dusty Reichart.
See the Taipans now extending their pressure. Pushing Cedric Jackson into that trap there. Falling back.
Great look.
Wow.
Wow, he is some player.
And that's, you know, if he can get inside the paint like that and is able to distribute or make his shot when he feels the need, that's what's really going to make things difficult. He's got a steal. He's the man of the moment.
We talked about that before the game. Leads the league in assists and steals and adds another one to his stat sheet. We talked about that 1-point lead. They've quickly kicked it out to 5 off the back of some Jackson, 2 assists and a steal.
Thomas Abercrombie rose up then with intent and was that somebody met him in the air. Otherwise, it could have been very ugly.
Good hands from Boucher, but Reichart recovers in the backcourt. Really good D here from New Zealand, pushing them wide. Cam Glidden gets an open look on the baseline, just in time for the shot clock. Will Hudson, big rebound, draws the foul.
Aaron Grabeau not very happy with that. Alex Loughton, good hustle to get that second look at it. The Breakers come away with the ball. Brad Hill comes back in for Aaron Grabeau.
We haven't seen heaps of Jamar Wilson. I know that's fantastic English, but we haven't. What do you think's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps they weren't sort of getting what they wanted off him, or he might even be carrying an injury. Although they have looked good the last sort of 5 minutes up until now with Kerry Williams running the point, so maybe just don't mess with what's working.
Yeah, great D there from Loughton, calls the turnover. Brad Hill pushes on offense, hard to the hole. Boucher gets the hands in there, look to have taken the ball. They get called on the chop, and he'll be going to the line.
Fouls on Dylan Boucher, his second personal.
Brad Hill's been a 67% free throw shooter this season. He's actually leading the Cairns Taipans in rebounds. Just those hops getting up high.
It's not bad out of the 3 spot.
It's fantastic. Gets the first one to go. If he can have a repeat dose, we'll be back to a 3-point game.
Alex Loudon, is that an N1? It is. Wow. Dylan Boucher's no score. What's happened? Violation.
Looks like they've jumped the marks.
Dylan Boucher's gone early. Probably dodged a bullet there a little bit, that they only get one more shot instead of the N1, which it could have been.
It was a great tip from Alex Loudon.
Back to 3 points.
2:22 for Richie Beno to go in the second quarter in this first half. Crowd getting involved. Got the defense chart going.
Oh, it's on now.
It looked like it was there. Tell you what, your man Dylan Boucher looked to face up to Dusty Reichart then, and he thought better off it, I think.
Well, I mean, Dusty sort of held him up here. And he's taken a little bit of a exception to the rule. And yeah, Dylan goes to the line to shoot too.
Ever used to do any of those chop of the arms? There's a bit of a karate chop there.
Well, we were both on the second team, so he never did it to me.
Clint Steindl will look to get back onto the floor for this next free throw. I'm sure Aaron Fern will be looking for a 3-point basket when he hits the floor.
It's a very physical game. I mean, despite the sort of touch fouls that were happening earlier, the guys are really going at it pretty hard there.
It's great to see the intensity, some feeling in the game. Some quick transition play. Oh, great defense from Boucher. Recovers the ball, going out of bounds. He'll look like he had 2 points in the bag there, and some great defense. Cedric Jackson, isolation, great help from Loudon, but a beautiful dish inside to Hudson. Is there anything he can't do?
Well, he's drawn the double team there and then found the streaking Hudson to the hoop. And that's Hudson's 10th point for the match. They just look dangerous whenever Cedric Jackson's got the ball.
And as you know, getting looks that close to the basket, it's very easy to get to 10 points very quickly.
Cedric Jackson's really doing a good job of lifting everyone on this team right now. When he's getting into the lane, he's making everyone around him better, which is what you really want from a great point guard.
6 points to lead now for the New Zealand Breakers. Just over a minute and a half to go in this second quarter. Clint Steindl looks inside for Dusty Reichart. Good tip away there from the Breakers. Got a timeout here to Aaron Fern. Look to draw up a couple of plays as we get close to the end of this first half. 6 points to difference at the moment. They're still winning this second quarter, the Cairns Taipans, but New Zealand have certainly had the edge. Here's Aaron Fern.
All right, Alex, you're the first screener. Okay, Kerry, you get out of there. Brad, you inbound the ball. We're gonna look at Clint. Dusty set a solid screen, right? Cut hard off that. Your other outlet is Dusty cut to the bucket. Or your third outlet is Alex popping out high. All right? So we've got 7 seconds on the shot clock. All right, so don't panic. 7 seconds.
Then we got hands on the fly, otherwise go with Shakes Big right now. Try Shakes Big. Cedric, be aware of the guard back screen up. Like, if his man gets attracted, his step out might be wide open as well. Shakes Big. See the line, but the guard's on.
6 point lead there, and Andre Lamanis is planning some plays for late in this second half. And Aaron Fern mentioned that there's 7 seconds on the shot clock for this play for the Cairns Taipans, and he said, don't panic. So they'll be looking to isolate someone, most likely in Clint Steindl, their star 3-point shooter, who's in the top 3 for 3-point percentage this season. There he is now, quick look, up high. Great strong rebound there from Dusty Reichart. Creates another 24 seconds for the Cairns Taipans. They'll take the tempo out of the offense here, and Kerry Williams up the top to Dusty Reichart. Back to Williams. Great look inside to Alex Loudon, but couldn't finish. Cedric Jackson will look to make them pay here. Got to make those baskets, especially when you're 6 points down. Jackson inside the paint. And the ball runs out of court with just under a minute to go. 57.1 seconds to be exact. The Cairns Taipans have the ball. Kerry Williams has been running the point for most of this second quarter and has certainly created a lot for the guys. And Clint Steindl not afraid to shoot. Hasn't got his touch yet, but Reichart gets the offensive board, but just loses his footing and puts his toe over the line. Breakers ball. Just a bit of work to clean up the key there from the Broom boys. Interesting to see if New Zealand look to go 2 for 1 here with 35 seconds left on the clock. Nice lob pass inside, but it gets knocked away. And the Taipans have the ball. Lots of turnovers here for the New Zealand Breakers, which I'm sure Andre Lamanis isn't too happy about, but they still have that 6-point lead after that 12-point lead at the quarter-time break. Great pressure D up high from Cedric Jackson. Shot clock coming down. Can't really get a good look. Loughton, tough shot. Great tip from Brad Hill. Couldn't get it to go. 4 seconds left. Cedric Jackson pushes the floor to Abercrombie, and the alley-oop right on the buzzer. Fantastic finish for the New Zealand Breakers, and that man, Cedric Jackson. Wow. 4 straight assists there for the import. 39-31 lead for the Breakers.
Six countries, 1 weekend.
3 scoring zones.
Only 5 players on court.
Here we go!
The Fast 5 Finals, tomorrow, Sky Sport 1.
What are you doing later?
I don't know.
I do.
Crazy Stupid Love, Sunday.
Sorry, Daryl, it's not Donna time, it's mum time. Sit your drunken ass down there.
Why?
Because you're not as special to me.
Oh, look, I'm not saying anything till I have my lawyer present.
You're driving piss too often, Daryl.
Uncle Gav, Mum thinks you're dumb.
No, you are, hey?
I think you're all dumb.
Oh, why?
You need to talk to your nephews and you to your brother about you lot driving home pissed every weekend.
Oh, you're no saint.
Yeah, I know that, but we've all got to stop. Now, I've said my bit. Who wants to go next?
This is awkward.
Spring is a really good time to do all those things that you put off through winter. Time to clean up the house around the outside, get it all ready for summer.
Toolbox set $29.98, vacuum cleaner $69.95, Dulux ceiling $99.97, DeWalt miter saw and stand $5.99, garden mix $10.86. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%.
Bunnings has a wide selection and fantastic prices.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Go Harvey Norman Electrical now for a massive 60 months interest-free on cookware. Talk to the experts about finding the right cooking solution for you. We've got ovens, cooktops, range hoods, complete kitchen packs. Plus, get a massive 60 months interest-free on air conditioning, heat pumps, refrigeration and dishwashers, washing machines and dryers, TV and audio, coffee machines, barbecues and more. Go Harvey Norman Electrical now for a massive 60 months interest-free. Now's the time to buy for a limited time.
Go, Harvey, go! Come on, Puss. Come on. Come on, up, Puss.
I've never loved you.
Find your nearest Mammoth stockist or book a free insulation assessment at mammoth.co.nz.
Dynasty. As promised.
We know what you want.
but the breakers definitely speed up when he's not on the floor. And the comeback that the Taipans made, they were taking advantage of Pledger's troubles getting back down the court.
Well, the atmosphere is building for this second half. Crowd are getting involved, and New Zealand have the ball to kick off this second half.
New Zealand starting with Will Hudson instead of Alex Pledger, and the Taipans going back to their original starting lineup.
Yeah, Will Hudson had 14 minutes in that first half for 10 points, thanks largely to Cedric Jackson running the shot clock down. Inside, another close look. Misses his first shot for the night there, Will Hudson. Maybe because it wasn't on from Cedric Jackson. Jamar Wilson back into the game after sitting the last 5 minutes of the second quarter out.
Wow, he's got quick hands as well as he takes it off Cameron Tregar, who would have backed himself there as having a mismatch. And all the way for Cedric Jackson for another 2.
Should we give him the medal for man of the match already? He is on fire.
You never know, maybe. He looks good though, doesn't he?
Well, as we mentioned in the break, he's leading the league in assists and steals, and he's got 2 steals and 6 assists already, and he's up to 12 points.
He had a great game last night in Townsville as Alex Loudon gets an easy shot up. An open 3. Jamar Wilson can't get the follow to go. So he's just continuing his form on.
He just looks so confident, really getting inside into the paint. Tough shot, kisses it off the glass. Wow. 4 points to start this second half to Cedric Jackson. He has 13 with 6 assists and 2 steals. Really stuffing that stat sheet.
Interestingly, he didn't score at all in the second quarter. But he did all his scoring at the start of the game. Now he seems to be doing a whole bunch of scoring at the start of the half. I wonder if he just plans it that way.
Yeah, maybe he's a odds man with his own hands and an evens man when he dishes it off. Back to 10 points now with the Breakers lead. Cairns get their first basket of the second half. Lots of space for Vicona.
Running a 2-man game with Hudson.
Letting him have that shot. And strong rebound there from Hudson. We talked earlier in the Cedric Jackson. Great look inside. Vicona draws the foul.
Shoot 2.
Mike Vicona to go for the line. You talked earlier in the game that they gave him that open look. Looks like they're still happy with him shooting from the top of the key.
Well, look, it's still not a strength for him yet, but it's definitely improved over the last few years. What is his strength is what he just did then, is filling the lane on the drive and getting to the hoop. And Cedric Jackson, you know, I know that we keep mentioning it, but they've got to find a way to keep him out of the paint, or he's just going to keep happening like this.
Double teams, maybe? Is that something they can do?
I don't know. I have no idea how you would slow this man down.
Yeah, he's a freight train at the moment. Micah Vicona goes 2 from 2.
And he feels good. You know, once your confidence is up.
He's just gliding across the floor when he has the ball in his hands. Brad Hill running the top here. Not many options here for the Taipans. Great D from the Breakers, pushing them deep outside the 3-point line. There's a good look. Got to finish those, though, Brad Hill. They want to stay in this game. And Daryl Coletto brings down the ball.
Vicona looking to turn the corner on Loudon.
Get it into his hands. He'll do something good.
Sure, why not? Will Hudson just stayed with it and stayed with it. Gets the 2 points.
Gets the thumbs up for persistence, but he's probably cost Jackson another assist there.
And yeah, Cedric once again gets right inside the lane. The crowd's really sort of quieting down here. They want something to cheer about, but the Breakers are all over it.
Yeah, Jamar Wilson and Brad Hill have just missed a couple of layups there that they probably should have made. And this gap's gone out to 14 without even really trying here, the Breakers. Abercrombie.
Nice little stop and pop, didn't go.
Brad Hill to bring down the ball. Taipans need the next score. I mean, it's a bold statement, I know, but they certainly need to stem the flow.
And there's the man to do it, Cameron Tregar. Nice little rolling right-handed layup.
Very hard to stop that one. He's up to 10 points and really loving the Cairns Convention Centre. His move up here, hasn't scored under 20 points for the season. Giving Vicona that look, and looks like they were going to give him the look, but Tregar got sucked into that little pump fake. Vicona draws the foul.
Once he was up on his toes there, you know, he'd lost defensive position, and Mika did a really good job of drawing the body contact and getting the fouls. We see Alex Pledges come back in for Will Hudson. Hudson's just been relentless on the offensive glass and been the beneficiary of a lot of the Cedric Jackson activity.
Jamar Wilson's got a tough job on Cedric Jackson, import versus import. Open look for Vicona from the corner, says thank you very much.
Knocks down the deep two. And he made the game-winning three the other night against Sydney. So, you know, look, he's happy enough to shoot it. It's just, you know, it's not quite his go-to move yet.
Well, if they're going to give you looks like that, I think you have to, as a professional player, you've got to take them every time. Pledger making an immediate impact on the boards. Cedric Jackson looking to push the ball. Just trying to get his way into the key. Kicks it out to Abercrombie. Looking for Pledger inside. Vicona
just takes up so much room. That's 3 seconds in the key.
3 in the key.
And that's frustrating for a big man, because you think you've got the seal, and so then you reseal, and you still think you've got the seal, and maybe the guards can't get it to you, and then you get done for 3 seconds.
Just really hard for you 7-foot blokes, isn't it, this game?
Oh, it's just hard to count to 3. So many things can go wrong.
Yvonne make basket. Cam Glidden with the ball. Up at the top. Creates some space for Jamar Wilson, who kicks it inside to Tregar, who has 10 points so far. Good look.
He's just so tough down there. And the size of Pledge is not going to worry him too much. You know, he's used to playing a bit undersized, and if you give him that half look, he's not going to miss it.
Just love that little jab step from Tregar. Beaten on the defensive end, though, and Alex Pledger gets the putback. Still at that 14-point lead. We're just under 5 minutes to go in the third term. 14 points. Back out to the biggest lead of the game, really, for the Breakers. Shane Edwards comes into the game, and a great steal. Oh, just with a ring tap. I thought there'd be a bit of showtime from Cedric Jackson as he picks up his third steal for the game. And they're just all over him at the moment. Bit of a crisis time here for the Cairns Taipans. 16 points is the margin. 14 points to 6 in this third quarter.
Yeah, that's not something that Aaron Fern's going to be particularly happy about. You know, now's the time to regroup the guys. There's no point berating them right now. You've got to bring them together, build up their confidence, and try to send them out there to see if they can make some kind of difference.
When we screen and we come off the all ball, roll our man's open every single time. They sit real flat. Get the low man, he just flashes real high. You get in each other's way. So you're not reading that. All right, you got to read it. All right, you got to read it.
Keep grinding this now. Give me a green here, get to the hustle early, make the calls early. Give me a green right here. All right, keep pushing the ball. 1, 2, 3, practice.
Andre Lamanis obviously very happy with his troops there. Aaron Fern's obviously concerned there with a little bit of spacing. He's suggesting that the guys are getting in the way of each other on the X cut after the screen and roll. He is right about the roller being open there, but, you know, sometimes it's hard to see and get that pass drop back, particularly if they're doing a good job of showing.
Cairns Taipans fans not too happy with the performance so far. A bit of a 4 thumbs down, but don't count them out just yet. They just need a little spark, and maybe the timeout will be the difference. Steindl into the game. Nice little dish. That's what they needed. There goes the crowd. They're fired up after that timeout, and Cam Glidden makes a nice basket after a nice little dish from Tregar. Yeah, both their college players that they've got, Cameron Glidden and Clint Style, are very athletic. Nice little lob.
Stepped out of bounds there. Travelled. A good steal from Alex Pledger. He just can't buy a trick tonight.
He certainly can't. Can't count to 3 and can't count to 2 by the sounds of it. Steps.
Yeah, no, come on. I'm still recovering from the Alex on Alex comment earlier.
The Alex off.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes to go, and some nice high defense from New Zealand, and CJ Bruton just working hard on Jamar Wilson, who takes a tough shot.
Look, I don't think you'd be happy with that shot. As the offense had clearly broken down there. Maybe set it up and call for an on-ball screen.
Bit of showtime there from CJ to Boucher, who goes in hard, and the offensive foul. Just these little 1%ers are what's going to be needed for the Taipans to get back into the game, and it's that man, Cam Glidden.
Look, he's obviously taken it upon himself to try to give the boys a lift. It was a very athletic move down the other end, and there you see him put his body on the line against Dylan Boucher.
Full court defense here from New Zealand. Whether they go tough, no, they lapse it off into some half court defense. Jamar Wilson controlling the ball. Oh,
Abercrombie all over Steindl. And that's going to happen. He's still young, and coming into the NBL, there's a huge difference against playing against other 22-year-olds, playing against 25, 26, 27-year-old men. So look, he's going to make mistakes like that as he develops, but look, he's got a fantastic upside.
That's right. It certainly hasn't been his night tonight so far, but there's still over 12 minutes left in this game. Setting that high screen there for Coletto. CJ is doing what CJ does. Good rebound from Pledger.
And he loved it.
He's happy about that. After going 3 seconds then to a travel, he gets the basket that he all desired. Back out to a 16-point lead for the Breakers. Just need a little run here, and just this, just a tough foul for CJ, but their defense, they're really pushing the Taipans up to the halfway line.
They are, and it makes it hard to start your offense that far out. It also cuts off your angles for the post because you're dealing with a much more of an acute sort of angle, for using the word again in the same sentence. So it just makes it too hard to get it in there, and it increases the risk of turnovers exponentially.
Jamar Wilson trying to create something, gets the open look for Tragar. Just a bit short on that one, but Steindl not getting it to go on the offense. It does a nice little tip out, and they can restart the offense.
Good
Got
quick
the
move from
isolation
Cameron
on
Tragar.
Got nothing to go. Great
Pledger,
D from
and they're off.
Pledger.
Pledger went down, worked hard for the early steal on Tragar. Handoff with CJ.
Got the look he desired. Just couldn't get it to go, and Jamar picks up another rebound.
Leon Henry not quite in position there, stuck the knee out a little bit.
Leon Henry, second personal foul.
As we wait for the Taipans to bring the ball back into play, we see the Breakers extend their defense up a little bit.
Outscored the Taipans by 8 points this quarter, New Zealand, and just that 16-point lead is looking like a mountain to climb, but they can get one step at a time. And that certainly helps. Shane Edwards finds the stroke from the top of the key, nothing but net.
He's very comfortable in that top of the key three-point shot there. As you see him shoot it down again, he's got very good technique, good form.
Yes, if he certainly can get going, that'll help the Taipans. Alex Pledger draws, that's his 4th foul. Another off-the-ball one. That has to be 3 from 4 off the ball. Have to see exactly what happened under the ring there.
He's unimpressed with the whole thing. I think he just sort of got rid of Jamar Wilson there.
Oh, he certainly milked that one, Jamar Wilson, and those are the things you got to do if you want to take a player out. I feel sorry for the bloke in the 3rd row that copped Pledger's dummy there as well. Came out with a bit of force. .45 seconds left in this 3rd quarter as the shot clock winds down. Grabo, another open look for Edwards. Can he get it? Just can't get it to go. And Henry picks up the board. CJ looks to slow it down. Doesn't look like he wants the 2 for 1 here. Daryl Coletto look to reset at the top. As the shot clock winds down. Long range bomb. Bit of a desperation play there, I think, as the shot clock wound down.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what they were looking for early. But the Taipans did a good job of just stagnating their offense there, and they had to settle for that very, very long three from Daryl Coletto.
Got 10 seconds here, Cairns Taipans, to try and bridge this gap to at least 11 points here. Full court defense. Jamar Wilson looks to go.
Spin.
The turn, yes! Great move from Jamar Wilson. The perfect result there. Excellent stuff. They get that margin back to 11 points, and he stole a little manoeuvre there from Cedric Jackson, who pulled that one off in the first quarter.
Didn't he? But what a fantastic move at pace to be able to spin and then get all the way to the basket. That could be the lift the Taipans are looking for. You know, the crowd got into it a bit more, and it always gives you confidence to see your gun player do something like that.
New Zealand Breakers 55-44 at three-quarter time in the Cairns Convention Centre.
Definitely started off as a bit of a high-scoring affair there. You know, the Breakers had 26 points in the first quarter. They've only scored, what, 19 since then?
29 Breakers.
29?
No, but you're right. I mean, that's only just over what they scored in one quarter. Now they've only scored that for 2 quarters of basketball. So it's really been a bit more of a grind. And Andre Lamanis talked a little bit about that in one of the timeouts there. He said just keep grinding them out. But the Taipans worked themselves back into the game late in the quarter, and that's what they've done all game, haven't they?
Indeed. We'll have a listen into Fern here to rally the troops.
Sorry, let us take the ball back. So both of you, I want you to pop, and I know they're going to switch it, right? So whatever side the big man goes to, you've got to go opposite, all right? Either go at the mismatch, but if they go small ball, then we want to kick it to the wing, kick it to the wing, and dive. And then the opposite big guy, as he's diving, you want to be flashing high post and get these guards loaded up on the other side. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, the crowd's going wild. The man has made the shot. Well, how far was that one back, Matty?
I think it was half court. They seemed pretty happy. The loudest has been all night.
Well, yeah, it's funny. The Cairns Taipans haven't had a great game so far, but a man making a half-court shot at three-quarter time, maybe they need him on the floor.
He's won $5K.
$5,000. I tell you what, if I'd won $5,000, I think I'd be smiling, and I think I'd have that shirt on pretty quick smart. I might even, no, I wouldn't kiss you, but I'd probably kiss that lovely lady there.
Yeah. we probably won't kiss Kate because she's also a lawyer. And there's, you know, all sorts of minefields there.
Yeah, we don't want to make those type of mistakes, Matty, do we?
No, we do not. But look, 5K, what a great night for him.
Absolutely. I might have to get around him a bit later, me and you.
I'm going home.
Oh, we kick off the fourth quarter, and Aaron Fern will be looking for a lift just as they got one at the end of the third quarter there from the Cairns Taipans.
Come off Daryl Coletto's foot. Taipans ball.
What was the message there? We got a bit overawed by that $5,000 shot. What was the message there from Aaron Fern?
He's still concerned with the spacing. You know, he doesn't have guys going to the right place, so the offense is not running as smoothly or clicking the way it should. It's a deep three violation as it's hit the shot clock. Look, he's really trying to tweak his offense on the fly here. You know, it's not being run the way he wants it or the way he quite likes it. So he's just reaffirming the rules and the positions of each guy.
Cedric Jackson with 15 points.
Did he try to pass it?
Probably should have taken the shot there. Trying to get a little bit tricky, I think, inside the paint, but Jackson, nice moves there. Shane Edwards with the open look.
Oh,
bounce.
Both guys in.
But they get to reset here through Alex Loughton. Nice matchup here for Wilson on Henry. Surely he goes in on him.
Jamal Wilson's really trying to take over here.
Really trying to be the man to lift the team. Loughton to the veteran in Grabeau. Lob pass into Loughton. Got the mismatch. Just can't get it to go.
They're getting the mismatch they wanted, but then I don't think they got the shot that they wanted. You know, that was an off-balance jumper from Alex Loughton when he had the opportunity to really back down and try to bury Cedric Jackson.
Quick pull the trigger there from Daryl Corletto off the Taipans, and it'll be a breaker's ball. Don't think Aaron Fern's too happy about that one.
No, look, he's just discussing it with Vaughan. Vaughan's a Cairns boy, or lived up here in the past, so maybe just, you know, asking how Aaron's wife's going, kids.
Vicona, and they reset through Cedric Jackson. Just looks so good on the ball, doesn't he? Easy shot.
I don't think... The issue there was no show on the screen, so Aaron Grabeau's tried to go on underneath, and has been taken out by the roll. That means Cedric Jackson is free at the top of the key to do whatever he wants.
And we've seen tonight when he gets to do whatever he wants, the Breakers get to do whatever they want. And they've kicked out to a 13-point lead.
Daryl Coletto just picks up the ticky-tack foul there. Cam Trigar comes back in for Shane Edwards.
Got a couple of good looks, Edwards. Got the first one to go.
Look, you can't fault the looks.
No, absolutely.
If you get a good look and it misses, you just sort of wear it. Jamal Wilson recovers his own ball there. And the Breakers come away with it again.
Feels he should have got the foul call there, I think, Jamal Wilson, and he's... Oh. Grabeau trying to do the right thing, but went straight back to Abercrombie, who drew the foul, and he'll go to the line.
It's tough in that situation. You know, you're probably better off going out and seeing it out so you've got a chance to set up your defense, or else something like that can happen or something good can happen. But it's such a line ball call, you're better off just sort of wearing the side ball.
Cairns yet to score in this third quarter. The Breakers have the one basket through the main man in Cedric Jackson. And ball's not really rolling in at either end at the moment, Matt.
No, look, the offense has dried up a little bit, I suspect, but the defense is certainly still going strong.
The Taipans are 13 from 39. They're shooting 33% from field goal range. Actually, 15 from 50. I correct myself, 50%. 30% rather, I'm having a mare. And the Breakers, they're 21 from 44. Loughton, nice look inside Trigar. Good spin. Oh.
Tough layup, he just leaves a bit short there. They did send 3 guys to him though.
Good hands from Grabeau. Corletto makes him pay.
Everything's falling your way when that happens, isn't it? You get a deflection, to find a shooter with his feet set on the three-point line.
He's got such a quick stroke, Corletto, and you have to think every time he gets that open look, he just doesn't seem to miss very often.
Well, he did such a long apprenticeship at the Tigers, you know, and he spent years and years and years around Andrew Gaze. Some of that's got to rub off on you, doesn't it?
Grabeau. Rebound, Trigar pulls the trigger again. Trigger to the trigger, and he goes bang. They certainly needed that one, Cairns, to state the obvious. Cedric had the look in the paint, but decides to reset. Great lob. Oh. Another assist goes begging there for Cedric Jackson. But Will Hudson will go to the line after missing a couple of easy put-ins, but might be able to make amends from the line.
Does a really good job, Will Hudson, of identifying the mismatch when he's got that little guy on him and creating space under the basket. Most of his points tonight have been on mismatches like that, particularly with Jamal Wilson and Kerry Williams. As you see, Alex Pledger's going to come in for Will Hudson after these shots. But he just keeps the game really, really simple. He gets as close to the rim as possible and waits for the ball to arrive.
It's a simple game, isn't it?
It is if you've got someone like who can give you the ball.
Will Hudson, perfect from the line that time out, and they get that margin out to 16 points. Realistically, Matt, what are the chances for the Taipans here?
You've got to keep plugging away. You know, you've got enough firepower there in Cam Tregar, your two rookies, Glidden and Steindl, and obviously Jamar Wilson's a prodigious offensive talent himself. You know, it can happen. All it takes is a guy to get fire quick.
Coletto pushes hard, tried to draw the foul, but Grabeau's hands have been good in this second half.
And it's what he's made his career doing. You know, he's a defensive juggernaut, I guess you would say. He explained it to me once that, you know, you match it up on a guy, he can only go one or two ways, so you've got a 50-50 chance of guessing it right anyway.
I like those odds. Good pressure from Tregar, almost caused the turnover. Tough shot from Abercrombie. Good rebound from Loughton. Jamar Wilson looks to push the floor in transition.
They make it difficult to advance the ball sometimes, don't they?
Oh, Cedric Jackson is just a guru. 5:48 left to go in this match. Andre Lamanis not too happy with that call, giving a few ironic questions there to the referees. But Aaron Grabeau will bring in the ball. Nice dish and good finish. The marquee men there teaming up in Wilson and Tregar.
And that's basketball 101. Get to the hoop, draw the big, and find your guy stepping to the basket. Nice, easy little hook shot.
Yeah, very pretty basketball there. Dylan Boucher out to the big man in Pledger. Abercrombie faked the tough shot, drives hard, gets the tip, and draws the foul. Wow. 50% of the time, it works every time.
That's basically what he told me. I think there's probably a bit more to it than that.
Nice little stop there from the Cairns Taipans, drawing the foul also on CJ Bruton as the imports go head-to-head. Good move from, and there's that little spin move. Gets the hands in Pledger. Looking to draw that 5th foul. We've seen him out of the game.
I think Jamar Wilson at this point is just trying to get something to happen. You know, he's being really hyper-aggressive with the ball, trying to get inside the paint, trying to get his team a lift.
Just trying to get to the foul line. Alex Loughton at the top. Hasn't got much to go to. Gets it to the point guard in Jamar Wilson. Loughton. There's the open look. Pump fake.
Good look.
Strong rebound from Pledger. That's why he's leading the league in rebounds. Bit of transition ball. Tell you what, it looks much better when Cedric Jackson does it, but it was certainly a good look.
Cam Glidden tried to link up there with Cam Tregar and just overcooked it a little bit. It's a good aggressive turnover. You don't really worry about turnovers if they're going to be aggressive and they're trying to do the right thing. It's the passive ones that you really worry about. And right now, the Taipans are in a position where they've got to try anything and everything to get a bit of a lift.
Do you think that going to the hole or the three-point game is where they've got to look?
I think you've got to keep going to the rack. You've got to stay aggressive. You know, playing the percentages, you make 25, 30%. I'm not sure what their exact stats are on the match for three. You're probably going to make 40 or 50% at the rim. So, you know, get your head down, get as close as you can.
If you want to push and explore, then like you can't throw anything away. All right, you got to be smart. Charlie go with harder, get back into a double, handle it, and stuff. Then work it a little bit, then go a thumbs down with about 12%. Comes down. All right, because 3 years out to here. Hey, on this is though, come on, Billy, get close! 1, 2, 3.
As they come out of the timeout there, the junior cheerleaders doing a fantastic job trying to fire up the crowd. And this Cairns Taipans outfit for the last 4.5 minutes of the game. They've got a 14-point deficit. Nothing's impossible. They've just got to get a run on.
removing the streamers from the court. It's occupational hazard of having the little ones out there.
New Zealand to bring back the ball with 4.5 minutes to go in this match. Ball's in the hands of the money man, Cedric Jackson. Looking for that high screen, and they got the switch. Abercrombie with the alley-oop.
They're starting to feel good about themselves now.
He has got some serious hops, that young fellow. I don't know how young he is anymore, but fantastic. Certainly one of the highlights of the game so far. Yeah, great look. Good stuff, Kerry Williams inside Trigger. Not as pretty as the alley-oop, but just as effective.
And Trigger had Cedric Jackson on his back there, so that's a good look. And that's the mismatch you'd be looking to go for.
CJ at the top with Pledger.
Dylan Boucher feels pretty good about having Kerry Williams on him.
Got the long-range bomb, and wow. You can hear the crowd there. Absolutely nothing coming from them. That was a real energy sapper. Out to 17 points now, following up from that alley-oop.
Start to get the feeling the Breakers are beginning to enjoy themselves now.
Absolutely.
You know, the three ball in the face of Jamal Wilson, the alley-oop. Looks like they're going to try to have a bit of fun with it.
Yep, on the verge of party time here if the Cairns Taipans can't get a little run on. Well, they don't need a little run, they need a massive run with 17-point deficit.
Mika Vicona comes in for Dylan Boucher. And Aaron Fern wants to have a chat about it.
When was the last time you saw a 17-point down with 3 minutes to go?
Look, I'm not sure what the Sydney Kings were down just a few weeks ago in this very building, and they managed to turn around a 13-point deficit into a win. So look, it's not impossible, but you are going to need something very special to happen. But you've got, you know, the offensive firepower there. And we'll have a listen to Andre Lamanis.
Stay connected to three-point shooters right now. The three-point line hurts us more than the two. Okay, so yeah, you can help up them a little bit, don't let them get a wide open one. Right up on the beat. Keep
buckets when it's there, all right? Big solid 3 minutes. Keep hanging it back, possession after possession.
Here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fantastic, Gilligan's cheerleaders.
Interesting here from Andre Lamanis there. He basically said he's almost happy to give up the two, just don't let them get those 3-point shots.
Well, no, you don't want them to get hot. You know, 4 quick threes, it's game on. And, you know, it can happen. Taipans to bring the ball back in through Aaron Grabeau.
Grabeau working for that open space, gets the shot up. The Pledger, the chairman of the boards, pulls down another one.
Breakers walking it up the floor now. Time is really on their side. The Taipans are going to need to start trying to speed it up.
Cedric there, he's just milking the clock. Calls for the screen, drives hard into the basket, lovely dish. And we've seen that happening all night.
Vicona arrived on the scene there and almost stole it. Alex Pledger does a really good job then, and once he caught it, he kept it high. So he took the guards completely out of the play.
Jamal Wilson trying to create something here. He's got the mismatch with Pledger, but decided to kick the ball around. Trigger in isolation. Turn away, Jay. Great work from Kerry Williams. 2:20 to go. They're going to need a basket here. And they're going to need it fast. Really milked that one for what it's worth there, Jamal Wilson. And he'll go to the line with the Breakers in foul trouble.
The Breakers seem to be swarming on the ball in almost every possession. From the vantage point we have up here, every time a Taipan tries to drive into the lane, there, 2 of them converge on them at any given time. They're doing a fantastic job of rotating and helping each other out, just hedging their bets. This has been a fantastic defensive performance from the Breakers tonight.
Yeah, to keep a team to 52 points with just 2 minutes left in the entire game. It's been an outstanding performance. Oh, well done there by Alex Loughton. Just got the hand in there and put the pressure on Vacona, and they'll get another shot at this.
Shane Edwards and Dusty Reichhout come into the game for Alex Loughton and Cameron Tregar.
It's interesting that Aaron Fern hasn't gone to Clint Steindl or Cam Glidden for a three-point shot. They're looking to maybe to go to Jamar Wilson or Shane Edwards.
Steindl's at the bench now, ready to come in, just as you spoke.
Cedric Jackson.
Kerry Williams just reached in there, picked one up.
It's been an outstanding performance from Cedric Jackson. He'd have to have at least 4 steals, 8 assists, and 20 points.
Yeah, look, he's really put his hand up for Player of the Week, and he's going to go pretty close to the MVP trophy too if he keeps this kind of form up. And this is a warning shot, I would say, for the rest of the league. To come into Cairns and walk away with this kind of win is very hard to do.
Going again for the alley-oop. This is certainly party time for the New Zealand Breakers. Cedric Jackson looking again for Tommy Abercrombie. Just couldn't get that one to go. Just a minute 42 to go left in this one as the New Zealand Breakers look to go 2-0 on the Sunshine Swing. They've been an impressive outfit tonight. Tay Rangi comes onto the floor for his first minutes of the night. Cedric Jackson, look at him, just easing his way into the key. But good defense there from Dusty Reichhout and Kerry Williams with just a minute and a half to go in this matchup here at Cairns Convention Centre tonight. New Zealand Breakers 70-52. Just been a fantastic display as the shot clock violation gets them there with a minute 26 to go. Even though this one's in the bag and they've got an 18-point lead, they're going for full court offense here in New Zealand. And Shane Edwards manages to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. Only 8 points in this final quarter for the Taipans. The Breakers outscoring them 15-8, pushed out that lead to 18 points, and they're looking very happy with themselves the way that they've performed tonight. Shane Edwards from the line. Credit to the Cairns fans, they're still clapping every basket, even though this one's well and truly gone. Two from two there from Shane Edwards. Minute 22 left on the clock. And it's in the hands of tonight's MVP for sure, Cedric Jackson, who's really filled up the stat sheet with 20 points, bucket loads of assists, and a number of steals. Kerry Williams looks to push the floor. Another basket there to the Breakers. 18-point lead. Kerry Williams from downtown. CJ Bruton, the vet, cleans that one up nicely. We're into the final minute of this clash here on Saturday night as New Zealand look to take all the time they can off the clock. That man, Cedric Jackson, controlling the ball. He's done as he's pleased tonight. Nice little dish. Pledger thought about the alley-oop. Draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. 18-point lead now for the Breakers. They'll be looking to make the most of this every. And Shane Edwards manages to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. Only 8 points in this final quarter for the Taipans. The Breakers outscoring them 15-8, pushed out that lead to 18 points, and They're looking very happy with themselves, the way that they've performed tonight. Shane Edwards from the line. Credit to the Cairns. Point lead. They're going for full court offense here, New Zealand. And Shane Edwards manages to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. Only 8 points in this final quarter for the Taipans. The Breakers outscoring them 15-8. Pushed out that lead to 18 points, and they're looking very happy with themselves, the way that they've performed tonight. Shane Edwards from the line. Credit to the Cairns fans, they're still clapping every basket, even though this one's well and truly gone. Two from two there from Shane Edwards. Minute 22 left on the clock. And it's in the hands of tonight's MVP for sure, Cedric Jackson, who's really filled up the stat sheet with 20 points, bucket loads of assists, and a number of steals. Kerry Williams looks to push the floor. Another basket there to the Breakers. 18-point lead. Kerry Williams from downtown. CJ Bruton, the vet, cleans that one up nicely. We're into the final minute of this clash here on Saturday night as New Zealand look to take all the time they can off the clock. That man, Cedric Jackson, controlling the ball. He's done as he's pleased tonight. Nice little dish. Pledger thought about the alley-oop. Draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. 18-point lead now for the Breakers. They'll be looking to make the most of this. Every single bit of percentage always counts, especially when it comes right down to the end of the season. Look at Andre Lamanis there, looking very content with his boys' performance tonight. It's Pledger. A little bit light on that one. Probably needs to bend those big knees if he wants to get it over the front of the rim. Gets the second one to go. It's 19-point margin as Sean Bruce comes into the game for his first minutes. Brother of Aaron, of course, who plays for the Sydney Kings, one of their stars. Edwards kicks it into Dusty Reichart, and really that is the story of the night. Just haven't been in sync, the Cairns Taipans, this evening. Just a few loose passes, some turnovers, and their layups and shots just really haven't been able to roll in. We're into the final 24 seconds of the match. A 19-point margin. And let's see if the Breakers go for a bit of party time. They do. Little alley-oop. Tay Rangi couldn't get it to go. Dusty Reichart pushes the ball off to Clint Steinel. Just not his night tonight. 0 from 4. Steinel had a great game last week and has been shooting the lights out this season. And there's the 0.6 seconds left on the clock. New Zealand Breakers, what a fantastic, impressive performance up here in Cairns. A 19-point margin. They led by 12 points at the end of the first quarter, 8 at the end of the second, pushed it back out to 11 and finished off a strong performance by 19 points. New Zealand Breakers 73, Cairns Taipans 54.